open these? These look pretty damn thin. Yeah, these are gonna be good enough. Where'd I get these?
You don't work here anymore.
I know.
You're allowed to leave shit wherever. Trust me.
Nice guy.
Trust
I feel
me.
like a good person.
But these are buy one get one. Do you think we could just risk it?
No, these are. We're going with paper clips, guys. Joel found the paper clips. So now we're good. We got this. We're ready to go. We're about to go ahead and make the honey pot, season 1, episode 2. It's about to come live from the graveyard. You want to do a little tail wiggle? Starting off strong. Come on, let's go. Is there anything else while we're in here?
I'm going that way.
Okay. What's up, guys? Pokey Pete, aka the Gummy Bear, aka an idiot, aka a man in a bear suit. Back from the back of my minivan. So, guys, we're in the minivan. We are in Forest Lawn right now. Me and Joel are grinding, and you guys have asked us so many questions, and so many good questions, that we could not do a bi-weekly episode. We had to go ahead and do another one right now. Camilla, we still got your question. We're going to hold on to that one for next week because Eevee Day. It's going to be an Eevee episode. Guys, get your Eevee questions in when you can. Trump, you did ask one. We are going to answer that, but yeah. So here we go. We're going to get started. We are going to grind a little bit while we're doing this.
Ooh, gasoline might be perfect.
You got to check. Always check the gasolines. They could always be perfect. You never know.
Dude, if we catch a perfect gasoline camera, I'm gonna flip.
If we catch a perfect gasoline on camera, that'd be the coolest thing ever. But yeah, we got Alyssa driving for us today. She's gonna be our grinds record DD. It has been a very rough night, a very rough start.
It's not perfect.
We've got our honey pot. We're sitting here, we're chilling, we're ready to go. So, Joel, would you like to do the honors?
Yeah.
We've got all of our questions on an iPad here tonight. We're getting a little more professional with this. And we're going to grind. So here we go.
Do you think Niantic will give the Evolutions a special move on Community Day from Trumpsorski?
All right, well, Trumpsorski, you know, I don't think so. I think it's just going to be Eevee getting the Community Day move, and I think Eevee is going to get Swift. I do believe Eevee is going to be shiny, and I believe that's going to be awesome. The reason I think this is because most of the Evolutions actually already have the best move set for their type. And on top of that, as Joel is pulling up in his little newsfeed right now, it does say Eevee will be getting a special move.
Right, so I'm trying to find, and all Eevee caught during those 3-hour windows will know a special move to be revealed later. It does not say the evolve, and it actually says when caught.
Correct.
I'm thinking no move.
I'm thinking no special move as well. So, moving on. Next, what is the meaning of life in the eyes of a Pokemon? Asks at Captain Kidder. Guys, this is one that we forgot from last week. My bad. You guys cluttered that chat a little bit, so it's on you. But, DJ, the meaning of life in the eyes of a Pokemon is 42. And we're going to move on.
What the blank do I do with this 172 CP Lucky Minin?
Alright, so Lucky
Kidder.
Pokemon, El Kidder, Lucky Pokemon. Quite frankly, I treat Lucky Pokemon the same way I treat regular Pokemon. If they're not going to be good and they're not going to be useful, I get rid of them. They can go bye-bye. So, if this is not a perfect Minin or a perfect Plusle or whatever it is, sack it. Get rid of it. Hit the trash can.
Which is the first Pokemon? Bulbasaur, Mew, Rhydon, or Arceus?
Asked by @Captain Kidder. So, that is a trick question. For those of you out here, this is an age-old Pokemon question. A lot of people have asked this one. What is the first Pokemon? So, Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is the first Pokemon in the Pokedex. It is Pokemon number 001. It is the first Pokemon in the Pokedex. That's the first part of the trick question. Mew is the ancient Pokemon. It is said to be the oldest Pokemon. It is said to be the ancient Pokemon. That is why it is also considered the first Pokemon.
So I don't know the Rhydon one.
Rhydon is actually interesting. So Rhydon is the first Pokemon because Rhydon was the first ever Pokemon created. It's the first Pokemon that they started doing work on. It's the first Pokemon that they drew up. It's the first Pokemon that they created. It's also the reason I think that Rhydon's face is the raid boss, because it is the first, and that's like the beta face of Rhydon. It's like the very first Pokemon ever created by the creator. So that is also the first Pokemon. And then Arceus is the god Pokemon who literally gave life to all other Pokemon. So in the lore, Arceus would be first because he's the god. He's the god of all Pokemon. He created all Pokemon.
Okay.
So, I mean, honestly, if I'm going to answer that question, in my opinion, Rhydon's first. Rhydon is the first Pokemon. It's the first Pokemon that was ever created, so it's the first Pokemon. That's how I feel about it. Joel, what do you think? Which one of those from the trick question do you think is the first Pokemon?
So I think Arceus overrides Mew on that one.
I would agree. I think Mew is just an ancient Pokemon. It's not like a god or anything. In the lore, Mew is just ancient.
I'm going to go Arceus.
You're going to go Arceus? Alright, we'll go Arceus, and I'm going to go Rhydon. But yes, all of those are the first Pokemon, depending on how you look at them.
Yep. Alright. Captain Kidder asking difficult-ass questions.
Captain Kidder likes to do that.
Do you think you will ever catch up to @LKidder in lifetime Pokemon caught? Right now, as of like a couple hours ago, it was 86,000 to 68,000. Give or take a couple hundred.
Alright, well, thank you for your question, Trumpsuski. And the answer is obviously 100%. I'm definitely going to catch more Pokemon than Lynn.
I won't.
Eventually, I will beat her in lifetime. Like right now, she's got me by 18K. But you know what? Right now, she's like putting her kids to sleep, and she's like sleeping, and she's like doing all that stuff. And right now, I'm out here making a video, but not only am I making a video, I'm grinding. I have the Go Plus. I'm going. I'm grinding. Look at this. We're going to catch this thing. What is this? We're going to catch it. Come on.
Not.
One.
No, we're not. No.
Two.
No.
Three.
No.
One step closer to the Lynn. What up now? What are you at? How close are you?
46.8 on.
Oh, he's at 46.
Joliolio.
Joliolio is 46. I'm like 20K ahead of him.
I think combined I'm higher than you.
Combined, maybe, but like you don't get to combine them.
Oh,
that's the price you pay. And later, the price you're going to pay is my shiny Shuppet.
Yahoo is at 32,000.
Yahoo is at 32.
Oh, I am
so,
higher.
Yeah, you're higher than me. You're actually at 80K between two accounts, right? 48, 32, 80K. You're very, very close to the Lynn Kidder. But you know what? If we let you combine, then we have to let Lynn combine her.
Oh, God.
Her kid, her DJ, her other kid, her mini, her this, her that, the next thing.
I thought
she
DJ was
wins. Her kid. DJ is her kid. That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
He's got me.
Yeah, on an individual account, I will never catch up to her. You have a shot. You have a shot.
I'm going for it.
Yeah, shot.
1v1, let's do it.
All right.
I'll duke it out.
So we got one of the hard ones up here.
This is one of the hard ones. This is one of the reasons.
Is this one of the ones we want to come back to? Or is this one we want to
Yes, you know what? We'll do the two hard ones at the end because we're going to take a while on them. So let's just go ahead and we'll do those two last, all right?
All right. Should I toss crap lucky Pokemon or save them like I would shinies?
Mom, Dad, to answer your question, I think I already answered it when we told Lynn to get rid of that crappy one. If it's a crap lucky, it's not meta relevant, you're never going to use it, go ahead and
Unless you're
toss
going to do the very, very crazy thing of going for a lucky dex.
I say toss it. I'm not going for no lucky living dex. I'm not going for no...
Not until they make Pokemon storage a hell of a lot cheaper am I going for a lucky dex.
Correct. Pokemon storage is just not high enough at the moment to try to do a lucky dex.
Honestly, they need to like double Pokemon storage. If they let me have boxes like where I could just store Pokemon away and keep them and not use them, I would be saving a lot of cool stuff.
Correct.
And see, lucky Pokemon would be good for that because you can only trade once anyways.
Right, yeah.
So like once you're done, it's not like you can just send it to a box.
Give us a Pokemon storage box, Niantic. Give us something like the main series games had.
At the moment, no. I ain't paying.
At the moment, yeah, go ahead and get rid of them.
I ain't paying, what, $2 to hold on to?
Definitely not.
50
of
lucky
them?
Pokemon? No.
Definitely not worth it. Alright, so, @HorseGirl asks, should I be working on replacing my bottom 3 Machamps in my Machamp squad? So the bottom 3 Machamps are going to be a 13, 15, 15, a 12, 15, 14, and a 12, 14, 15, all at level 40, and that is going to be the attack stat followed by the defense stat followed by the HP stat. And if so, would any of these be worth powering up as a replacement? And we've got a 15, 14, 15,
14, 15, 14.
a 15, 12, 15, and a 15, 12, 15.
Yeah, all level 20.
So, to answer your question, Alyssa, while you're kindly driving us around, to answer your question, yes, I do think that you should replace the bottom 3 of your Machamp squad, but I don't think that you should power up any of those. I think that you've already have enough invested into your Machamp squad. I think they're already at level 40. You don't want to pay full price dust for more of them. I think you should be trying to trade some Machops and Machamps with people and trying to get some decent IV lucky ones, like some better IV lucky ones. That way you're not spending so much dust on building up stuff that you already have.
Right.
So that's going to be my recommendation to you. Just stick with what you got for now and hope for a lucky. What do you think? Is that good?
Yeah, probably.
That's what you would do?
I mean, that 12, 15, 14 is really low, though.
The 12, 15, 14 is really low, but I mean the 12, 14, 15 is.
I don't think it's going to
worse.
make any difference for her though to get a 15. Like you've got a perfect, right?
No.
It's going to save you a couple seconds.
If you got a perfect, you do it because it's perfect. You max out perfects. That's just something you do. But yes, I see what you're saying. It's not really worth it unless you can get a lucky one where it's half dust. I don't think it's worth it.
I would only say you would do that
96 with attack or better.
Post level cap increase. I wouldn't even say you do it now.
Very fair.
Because probably the
cap
dust to
increase.
take something from 40 to 45 is going to be the amount.
Of 0 to 40.
But you're probably going to even save even more just immediately cutting it all in half.
Right.
Than taking it to 0 to 40. So
Right,
I would only
right.
do it post
Level cap? Okay.
Post level cap.
Which is coming soon, by the way. So is Gen 4. Gen 4 is coming. Later this week. We're going to get into that. Alright, what else do we got?
What are the... No, that's the one we're saving.
We're going to
Right.
save that one.
Do you keep a Shuppet for Dust Noir? No, you don't.
Yes, Johnny, no. You don't keep a Shuppet to make a
Yeah,
Dust Noir.
no.
Unfortunately, Shuppet does not become Dust Noir.
If we're just going off the IVs here, the 15-3-15 all the way.
Most definitely. And it's
So
already
the-
level 29? Most definitely.
Versus the 11, 15, 13?
No. Definitely
15,
the
3,
15, 3, 15 all the way, but that's a Shuppet. That's a
Cool bayonet, but...
great bayonet, but that's a Shuppet. Alright, anyways. Alright, Original Copy asks, if you run out of incubators, would you buy... Can you stop moving? If you run out of incubators, would you buy regular incubators when there aren't boxes? And would you buy supers since you'd spend 30% more on 30% faster? To answer your question, Steve, no, I'm definitely not buying supers. Supers are not happening. Regular incubators, yeah. I would definitely buy some regular incubators outside of box. I would only buy them for 10Ks. I wouldn't do it for 5s or 2s. I would buy them for 10Ks. I would sleeve them up. But right now, I would not. At this current moment, I would not, because I am a firm believer that Gen 4 is going to happen sometime later this week. I believe that the leak we got was correct. I believe it's going to happen in the first week of August. With that, I believe it's going to be the Gen 4 Evolutions and the Gen 4 Babies. And therefore, I believe the Gen 4 Babies are going to be added to the egg group. And with the Gen 4 Babies being added to the egg group, I believe we're going to get special incubator boxes. I don't think we're going to get the raid pass boxes that we all want. I am thinking that the next box that we're going to get is going to be 1480 coins for 18 super incubators, 6 raid passes, 10 lucky eggs, 10 star pieces. So right now, I would hold off.
I'm going to pause that. My
Yes.
prediction on the next box is 8 pieces, 8 eggs, 6 supers, and 24 raid passes.
Interesting.
All right.
You think we're getting a raid box? Interesting. Yeah. Don't think we're getting a raid box. I think we're getting an incubator box. But anyways, the point is, yes, I would buy regulars. I would not buy supers for that extra bit. I would just rather walk the extra bit. And I wouldn't buy them just right now because I really do think that next week we're going to get a bigger, better box.
So, different answer than him. I would also not buy them. A, I'm cheap. B, I'm holding on to all 10Ks for the dust event that we have coming up. It's going to be, is it double or triple hatch dust?
Triple. I do believe it's triple hatch dust.
I think it's triple hatch dust, and I'm saving all 10Ks for that.
I do not blame you. I just think that I'm going to hatch 10Ks and get new 10Ks before then. It's still a long while away. You've got to remember that this event's not happening until like September. It's not even August yet. It's not till
the
September.
event is August.
The event will be alright. So the event is the end of August to September 2nd. The thing will be September 2nd to like the 9th or something like that.
Yeah.
The 3rd to the 10th, whatever it'll be.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna get the starters event for a month.
Depends
Go
on.
ahead and hatch some 10Ks. We're grinders. We're gonna grind. We're gonna play. I say hatch them.
I don't know. Depends. Really depends. Although if they do drop the babies in the egg group, I'm buying them.
Oh yes, but
I gotta
that's
get
what
the
I'm
babies
saying.
out.
The babies are coming. The babies are gonna be in the egg group, and we're gonna buy the box that's gonna have all the incubators. I'm telling you, man.
We'll see. All right, question from me. Would you buy 50 individual raid passes for a Moltres Day? He is currently at 1 raid pass, 1 premium.
I have 1 raid pass, guys. I have 1 raid pass right now, and without a raid pass box, it's gonna be tough. Like I don't want to pay full price. Like I don't want to pay $50.
That's a $50 day
for Moltres Day for 3 hours. Like, that's not even a full day. That's like 3-4 hours maybe with the glitch gyms.
4 hours.
So for 4 hours, do I pay $50 for Ultras Day? And I mean,
okay,
all right. So here's some factors that are going to weigh into this. Factor number 1: am I still employed? If I am still employed, am I working that? I might quit my job, guys. I'm going to go for a full-time YouTube star here. No, I just don't want to work there. I'm going to quit my job, guys. So, anyways, if I'm not working there, or if I am still working there, or if I'm not working there, the point is, do I have Ultras Day off? Because if I don't have Ultras Day off, I'm going to take the 5 free passes they give me. I'm going to make sure that I have 2 freebies from before. So I'll have 7 free passes.
Yeah.
And I will let you take my 7 free passes, and I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to let you use your judgments. The 7 free passes, you go for it. And I'm just going to tell you, go till you get me a shiny.
Mm-hmm.
If you still need me, you can use me. You have my consent to use my coin. But it depends if I'm off. If I'm off, then it's a different story because I'll be there and I'll actually be having fun. So if I'm not off, I give you free reign to buy as many as you need until you get me a shiny.
Mm-hmm.
If I am off, I might skip a few here or there and just do like 30 instead of 50. I might do like 20. I might do, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens if I'm off. I'll probably be off. I'm probably not going to be. I'll probably be off. I'm not going to be employed anymore.
Okay. Side question to that. Do you think we can do 50 in a day?
Yes, I definitely.
So
believe
really
that
the
we
question is,
50.
can we do 44 in 3 hours?
I do believe so.
Because we'll have the fours on pretty wrapped up.
Yeah, the 6 glitch gyms we'll get. I do believe so. I think that we can get 44.
All right. Tertiary question off that. There was like some cities that did like 82 on like a really dense city. Would you buy 82 raid passes if you could just go for the 82?
If I could go for the record and I could go for the 82, I'd buy 100. And I'd be like, nah, I want to beat that thing by 18. Let's go for 100. Let's go for triple digits. If I thought that it was possible, yeah, I'd do that. If I thought we had a chance at like putting up some real numbers, I'd pay for it. Just because like that's different. That's a record type thing that we're gunning for, and I would totally pay for a chance at a record. And I think we can if I'm driving. If I'm driving, anything in the world is possible. Guys, I'm crazy. Stay off the roads. Please stay off the roads. I'm crazy.
All right. Well then. Last non-hard question, not to insult you, Will, but would you power up anything other than a SmackDown T-Tar, Champ, Raikou
for the
gym meta?
Yes, 100% yes. I feel like you're really missing the most obvious one right here, Will. Rayquaza with Outrage, dude. Dragon Tail Outrage is a gym sweeper. You definitely need to have some of those. 2-bar dragon move with that DPS on there.
Yeah, so you have some good 2-bars in there. The Machamp and the Raikou are really good 2-bars.
Correct.
The SmackDown T-Tar with Stone Edge is actually not a good gym meta Pokemon.
I would use Bite Crunch on a T-Tar if I wanted to use a gym sweeper.
It's a better gym sweeper. As far as the defense meta, what are we thinking? Blissey, Snorlax with Body Slam.
Blissey, Snorlax with Body Slam. Honestly, I still say Vaporeon is a good one.
You think Vaporeon's a good one?
I think Vaporeon is a good one.
I think you basically either have to have anti-Machamp stuff in there.
Right, so I also like a Hurricane Dragonite.
I still say
a Hurricane Dragonite is a good one, and especially if you weave your Pokemon right. You get a Hurricane Dragonite in there, maybe a Dazzling Gleam Gardevoir.
What else in there?
Some good stuff, some good options for the gym meta.
Yeah.
I would still say Vaporeon just because of how tanky it is, and it still does a good amount of damage to you. Like, it'll return damage. It'll make you waste some
Still running, like, what, an Aggron in there?
Possibly
Heavy Slam
Aggron. Yeah.
Weave it in there, just put it
or
right
Steelix,
behind.
Heavy Slam Steelix would also work.
Yeah.
It's not going to return as much damage, but it'll be pretty tanky.
What else? Yeah, that's basically it.
I think that's basically it for what I would drop in the gyms. Or you just shiny drop on people because it's so much fun.
Or
I love shiny
Or you
dropping.
ruin someone's EV gym, that's the best.
Yes, ruining an EV gym is my favorite thing to do. Like, especially if they get 5 of them, and I'm just like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna drop off a Crow. I love dropping off the Crow.
I actually like dropping off the Absol in there because it looks right, like, but it's not right.
Or like a Growlithe or an Arcanine or something. Like if they miss the Flareon, you drop off your Growlithe. If they miss like the Jolteon, you drop off your Manectric. If they miss the Vaporeon, well, you drop off if they miss the Vaporeon. Obviously, Umbreon is Absol.
Yeah.
Eevee is like a Meowth or something, or a Snubble.
Sneasel?
Sneasel-ish, that could work. We'll see. The point is, it's fun to troll people.
Alright, so we're back to our 2 hard questions, and these are going to be a little bit longer
These
here.
are going to be a little bit longer.
Where am I? Okay. What, if any, Gen 4 evolutions do you think will be meta-relevant? Any chance of Magmortar or Electivire taking the #1 spots from Moltres or Zapdos, respectively, from Haunts?
Alright, so Haunts, very first thing, first and foremost, Zapdos is not the #1 attacker for an electric point of view. That would actually be Raikou. Zapdos is a good second. It's a very good second. But Raikou is the #1 attacker, so I don't want you to be confused there.
Right.
After that, if Electivire does get access to Wild Charge, it could put up a fight to pass Zapdos.
Right. My
But
problem is
it can't pass Raikou.
I don't think he's going to get a good fast move.
Yeah,
I think he might get
so.
the Wild Charge, and I think he's going to get something like Thunder Punch. Or no,
Thunder Punch is the charge move, but I'm thinking Volt Switch.
Volt Switch. Thank you.
I'm thinking he's going to get Volt Switch. But yes,
He could still get Thunder Punch.
potentially, I probably will get Thunder Punch.
Yeah.
But potentially, Electivire, depending on moveset, could outdo Zapdos.
Right.
We'll have to see what the moveset looks like.
Raikou.
It will not outdo Raikou.
Even with same moves, he won't outdo Raikou.
Correct. And guys, we're about to get Raikous in August, so that's awesome too.
Yeah.
Try to get 5 if you can. If not, you're ready for 5 Entei. Alright, so now...
5 Suicune.
Or 5 Suicune. No, don't mess with the people like that. They're not getting Suicune. No Suicune, guys. Don't worry about it. Alright, so now, what, if any, Gen 4 evolutions do you guys think will be relevant?
Alright, going down the list.
I think we just go down the list of all the Gen 4 evolutions and say whether or not they're going to be relevant.
Alright, starting with Mamoswine. His max CP will be 3289.
Mamoswine, depending on moveset, will 100% be meta relevant, either as A, an ice attacker, especially if it can get Avalanche, or B, as a ground attacker if it gets access to Bulldoze, which I believe it will. I actually think Mamoswine is going to get Mudshot Bulldoze, and I think it's going to mess everybody up. I think everybody's ready for it to be an ice attacker, and I think it will still be a good option, but I think that they're going to troll it a little bit. I think they're going to give it Bulldoze as the ground move, Blizzard as the charge move.
I'm still holding out hope for the Powder Snow Avalanche.
Powder Snow Avalanche would be tough to beat, and Mamoswine's got the stats.
You're literally not going to get a better moveset on an ice attacker right now, and it's going to be kind of crazy good.
Right.
It's going to put Jinx in the dust. It's going to do more damage and have twice as much bulk.
Yes, Mamoswine's going to be a beast. So Mamoswine, meta relevant. Power up your Piloswine.
100% chance of it being meta relevant. Don't know which kind yet. Roserade.
Roserade is definitely going to be the best poison attacker come Gen 4.
Correct.
That's a guaranteed fact, as long as it gets poison moves. Could be the best grass attacker. Depending on the moveset, Roserade does have the stat breakdown.
Max CP, by the way, 2783.
2783, which is really high for a grass type.
Mm-hmm.
Or a poison type. Or a grass poison type.
Super high. I'm trying to think, what is
Super high.
Venusaur max at? Like 20?
2538, I believe, is a max CP Venusaur.
So, to give you an idea there.
Yes.
I'm definitely thinking 100% the poison attacker. I think it's going to be a little too glass cannon
To be a grass attacker? Okay, that's fair.
So unless the poison gives it some sort of resistance, which most of the time it does not.
Right, most of the time it hinders it a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm going to go poison, probably not grass.
I'm going to go with, I'm going to say poison. It's definitely going to be an amazing option. Grass will still probably have better options. I still say Tangrowth, which we're going to get to on this list, is probably going to take over the #1 grass attacker spot. That or Leafeon even.
Possibly.
But yeah.
Alright.
I agree.
Miss Magius, max CP 2465.
So Miss Magius is an interesting one. I don't think that it's going to be able to take over the #1 ghost attacker spot. I think that Gengar is still going to be better. Miss Magius I could see still being a good option. Don't get me wrong. I could see it being the second best ghost option. I could see it being meta relevant. I just don't see it outdoing Gengar. I think Gengar is just going to be too good.
Get 2 Shadow Balls off and win.
You know, Miss Magius, cool Pokemon, cool design, much love. Don't think you need to power that one up.
Honchkrow.
Honchkrow is going to be interesting with the flying type. It's going to gain some resistance to ground.
2566.
Right, so it'll gain resistance to ground type moves that T-Tar does not have.
I'm going to call good against Focus Blast Mewtwo.
Good against Focus Blast Mewtwo. I'm going to agree with that. I think that it is going to be the top dark type attacker against a Focus Blast Mewtwo because of that flying resistance. That would also be, I would also say, when they come back, Alakazam with Focus Blast or Gengar with Focus Blast, Honchkrow will also work perfectly for them. So I think Honchkrow is going to be a niche Pokemon where it is actually the best in certain scenarios. Is it worth powering up right now? Probably not. I would wait to see the moveset. I would
You can
wait.
catch so
I would
many
wait.
of those. Like wild,
Yeah,
boosted.
I would wait. I wouldn't really
Windy.
power him up.
Yeah. All right. Weavile.
You know, I don't think what does Weavile max out at? I don't really think Weavile is going to be that
28-15.
as a dark attacker or an ice attacker.
I think an ice attacker, it might get off enough damage if it gets the exact right moves, which is powder snow, avalanche.
All right, so
Powder snow, like I think it takes 3 powder snows to get off an avalanche,
right. I think you're right. And I think they're super fast too.
and they are.
Isn't
yeah.
it the fastest animation in the game? Powder snow?
It's one of the fastest charges.
moves, or fast
yeah.
moves in the game.
Very little damage, really high energy per second.
Which gives you more avalanches, which is an amazing move.
Right.
So, all right. So my thing on Weavile though is going to be, depending on how Pokemon Go does it, if they actually eventually do a rework of the battle mechanic and make speed an important factor,
Right.
I think that would actually change Weavile from a meta perspective. I do think Weavile could be a very good ice attacker, but I think if they changed the speed stat and actually made that matter in Pokemon,
Yeah.
Weavile would actually be a really good ice choice because Weavile does have a crazy high speed.
It does.
So, moving on though, what is next on this list?
Magnezone.
Magnezone, definitely.
Max CP 2996.
I definitely think Magnezone is going to be important. I definitely think that it could be used as either a steel attacker or an electric attacker.
It's again all depend on the moves.
All depends on moves, but it does have
Magnet
good
Bomb?
stats.
Was it Magnet Bomb?
Magnet Bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, Magnet Bomb.
That if he gets that might be like a community day thing, giving
Community
him
Day Magnezone. Yeah, giving it Magnet Bomb. All right, I can see it. I can see it.
That could be a super good
That
steel
could.
attacker.
It could be a super good steel attacker.
It will definitely. I think if it gets Magnet Bomb, it's definitely gonna be better than Metagross, but I don't think it'll pass Dialga.
Probably correct. I don't think it will pass Dialga. Possibly even Heatran. Heatran could be a steel attacker as well,
Yeah.
depending on how they want to do him.
Mhm.
But I don't think. I mean, I think it'll be a good electric defender. I think that Magnezone might
Yeah,
actually change the gym meta from
Just
a
enough.
defensive standpoint. I think that you would actually might want to put that in there.
It's still weak to fighting though.
It
It's
is
the
still
problem.
weak to fighting, but if you weave it in a little bit, you do some stuff with it, it's going to have a high defense stat, and it's going to have good defensive moves. It's not going to have good offensive moves. It's going to have good defensive moves. Like the moves that Magnezone will probably get, I'm going to say it's going to get Charge Beam and Zap Cannon. Those are the moves that I'm thinking it's going to get. So I don't think it's going to be huge as an electric attacker, but possibly as an electric defender.
Licky.
Licky is a cool Pokemon. I love how it licks.
2359.
It will not be meta relevant whatsoever.
Licky.
We don't even need to touch up on that one.
Rhyperior.
Rhyperior, we don't even need to go too far into this. Rhyperior is going to be
CP
good.
of 3869.
Rhyperior is going to be good. Whether it's
That's
a
just-
ground or rock attacker, it
that's-
depends on the moves it gets. It could be the best.
Highest CP non-legendary?
That will be that. Slacking.
Oh. Useful Pokemon here we're talking about.
Correct. Highest CP non-legendary. Highest CP non-legendary for a useful Pokemon will be
That's
Rhyperior.
some serious stats.
It is. Rhyperior is a great Pokemon. So, like, definitely, guys, if you have good Rhydons, I would invest in them. I've already invested in 3, so...
What's kind of crazy to me is the next one actually. Tangrowth.
Tangela's Evolution, Tangrowth.
3110.
Max CP 3110 for a Grass-type Pokemon. It is a pure Grass-type, right?
Yeah.
It's pure Grass-type Pokemon. So, guys, Tangela, definitely 100% worth investing in right now. Honestly, no matter what moves Tangrowth
I think as
gets,
long as
I
it
think
gets
it's going to be
Vine Whip
relevant.
plus either like Power Knot
It's
or...
literally a Vine. There is no way it doesn't get Vine Whip.
Vine Whip is
and
a very
Power
good
Whip.
move. Yeah, Vine
It's
Whip,
gonna
Power
have Vine
Whip,
Whip, Power Whip, or
or
possibly
worst-
Grass Knot.
or Grass Knot.
So,
So-
worst case scenario, it's still going to be a good grass attacker.
It's going to be better than Venusaur,
Frenzy
correct?
Plant. Yeah, it'll be better than a Frenzy Plant Venusaur.
If not better than completely on par with a Frenzy Plant Venusaur,
Most
right?
definitely. Yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
Tangrowth is definitely going to be relevant. I would definitely say you can safely invest in your Tangelas to get some Tangrowths. A little chilly back here.
Yeah.
Pull my hood up. What? I got the vent right on me. It's a little chilly.
You can move the vent.
I'm gonna just put my hood up.
All
I got
right.
my little barriers going.
Electivire, 2904.
We've already went over this. Electivire will be good. We've covered that part.
Mag Mortar, 2980.
All right, Magmortar is interesting. Magmortar is going to be a good Pokemon. The only problem is that the fire types are kind of dominant right now. Fire types are competitive. You've got Moltres, you've got Entei, you've got Flareon, you've got Blastburn, Charizard. You even have Arcanine, which is a very good Pokemon, a little slept on. It's
Fire Fang, Flamethrower.
Exactly. It's not as good as the other ones, but it is still a very good option.
I don't think it's going to get the moves necessary. I don't think it'll get Fire Spin. And I don't think it might get Overheat. It might. I don't think it will.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's going to get the moves that it's going to need, and honestly, I don't think it's going to be... I mean, I think it's going to be good, don't get me wrong. I think Magmortar will be a very good Fire-type Pokemon, but I think it's going to be kind of like in the same boat as Arcanine. I feel like Magmortar is just going to be a bulkier Arcanine, whereas it's a very good Pokemon. It's just outclassed by so much stuff because it's a very competitive
Moltres is really hard to
type. Yeah, Moltres is hard to beat. Flareon is a really hard non-legendary to beat.
I think Magmortar will be on par with like Flareon and
Blastburn, Charizard. Yeah.
It just won't be able to compete with Entei or Moltres.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think the Pokemon that will compete with Entei and Moltres is Heatran. I think it'll get the Overheat. It'll get whatever.
It'll get Fire Spin.
You think it'll get Fire Spin, or you think it'll just get Ember? Ember would make it just weak enough to like be right on par with Moltres.
Right, I could see that.
Ember Overheat.
I could see Ember Overheat.
Togekiss 3171.
Togekiss is interesting. It depends if they give us a Fairy Fast move.
Oh my god, it would be so good if they gave us a Fairy Fast move.
If we get a Fairy Fast move,
with Draining Kiss
will be meta relevant.
Draining Kiss is the best?
Draining Kiss, Dazzling Gleam, one of them. I forget which is the best.
Or Play Rough, I can't remember.
It's Play Rough, I think.
Is it Play Rough? No, it's really fast animation.
There's one really, really good fairy move. We don't know it because we don't use fairies that much. Without a Fairy Fast move, fairy Pokemon can't be all that relevant.
Right.
If they gave us a Fairy Fast move,
with
Togekiss could definitely be relevant.
It would.
And it would be one of the #1 gym defenders with those stats and fairy moves. With those stats and fairy moves, it would be one of the #1 gym defenders to stack with Blissey.
It'd be a really good thing to throw in with, I guess, Rayquaza too.
It would.
It absolutely would. As long as you don't run into an Ancient Power.
It would murk it.
Yeah.
I still don't think it would be as good as the Ice because the Ice still was super effective.
Super effective.
It would be super useful when like Palkia came around. Dragon Water.
Yeah. Too bad Dialga gets resistance from Steel.
Dialga is very, very tough Pokemon. Steel Dragon is just way too
Machamps. Just get your Machamps ready. You're gonna need them.
Machamps, possibly your Rhyperiors, possibly your Garchomps. That's what you need.
But yeah, very fast move. Togekiss will be an amazing investment.
Correct.
It'll make me a lot happier every time I hatched a normal Togepi.
Correct.
Yanmega 2873.
Yanmega's going to be a good bug Pokemon. I definitely think that Yanmega could compete with Scizor for the #1 bug attacker.
I've looked at the numbers and the answer is no, not unless they make speed a little bit more relevant. Scizor just has the defense from the steel typing.
Alright, that's fair enough. The defense from the steel typing. That's fair enough. I still think it could be good, but we'll see what happens.
That one's going to be...
That one's going to be in the Weavile situation.
Yeah,
it might be a good move, but like
if they gave it the
speed.
perfect moves,
it could compete.
It could compete with like something like a Focus Blast Mewtwo again. Right. Where Scizor would get nuked because of its steel.
And it would gain resistance.
It would gain resistance and it would be...
Right. Okay.
Leafeon, 2849.
Leafeon, we touched up on this already. I think it's going to be a really good grass attacker. I think that we're going to get this before EV Community Day.
What moves do you think it'll get?
I'm thinking it's going to get Razor Leaf. I don't think Leafeon is going to get Vine Whip. I think it's going to get... Honestly, I think it's going to get...
Razor Leaf Solar Beam?
Razor Leaf... No, I was going to say Grass Knot. I'm thinking Razor Leaf Grass Knot for Leafeon. Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm. Razor Leaf, Leaf Storm. It's a Leafeon. Only makes sense. Yeah. Petal Blizzard, maybe? Outside chance?
Instead of Solar Beam?
Yeah. All right. The moves might hinder it a little bit, but it's bulkier, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Glaceon.
Glaceon, interesting Ice-type evolution. I don't think that's going to be as good as Jinx or Mamoswine.
2866.
2866 max CP. I just don't think it's going to have the stats to really compete with Jinx or Mamoswine, so I'm going to say hold off on that one for now.
Glaceon's going to be a harder one. Gliscor?
Gliscor is going to be an interesting one. I'm not really sure that it's going to be meta relevant.
2602.
It's going to be interesting. It's Gliger's evolution. It's a dark ground type. It is going to be interesting.
Flying ground.
It's a flying ground?
According to what I'm looking at right now. I can double check.
No, I mean that's probably right. Flying ground, I could definitely be wrong. I thought that Gliscor went to dark, but clearly I'm wrong. So Gliscor, flying ground type, just like Gligar.
Yeah, I don't think meta relevant at all. I think you're definitely going to get.
I'm thinking it's not meta relevant.
According to Google, ground flying.
Ground flying. Heard that. I was just wrong.
Porygon Z.
Porygon Z has got the stats to be good, but it doesn't have the typing, and I don't think it's going to have the move pool to be good.
3,072.
Definitely has the stats. I just don't think it's going to have the typing or the move set.
Yeah, it's just
I think that's
normal attackers are never going to be
really anything special. I mean, it might have a decent chance of being a gym defender, maybe, but I mean, it'll get nuked by the Machamp, so you're not going to want to, unless they give us very fast moves, and then we can start stringing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be worth it, though.
Glade,
interesting.
Psychic fighting.
Psychic fighting is a very interesting combo. Depending on the moves, I mean, if it gets counter dynamic punch.
Counter dynamic punch.
As a fighting attacker.
I was actually thinking
Psychopath Future Sight as a psychic attacker?
Yeah. If it got something like that against oh goodness, what's the big
like a Gengar maybe? Oh, a Giratina?
Yeah, Giratina.
Maybe use it as a psychic attacker
versus his dark moves.
Okay. I could see it because the fighting would gain that resistance and the way that Pokemon Go works.
Which is broken.
It's broken.
I really hope they fix it. Before Dialga.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. It could be interesting. I was thinking fighting attacker against Dialga.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
That's going to be definitely a toss-up.
That is going to be a toss. We'll have to wait to see what moves it actually gets. So.
Yeah. Probopass.
Probopass, useless.
Dusknoir.
Useless.
Frost.
It does evolve from Dusk.
Frostless.
Not useless.
All useless.
All useless.
And then we have the babies, just so everyone knows. We have Chingling.
Which evolves into Chimecho.
Bonsley.
Evolves into Sudowoodo.
Mime Jr.
Evolves into Mr. Mime.
I never knew. Happiny, right?
Happiny, which evolves into Chansey.
Munchlax.
Snorlax.
And Mantike.
I hate that thing so much.
For the record, this is what we think is going to drop first.
Yes,
all those are going to drop.
All of those are going to drop first. In our opinions, we both pretty much believe they're going to come in a week, right?
I think before
EV Day, right before EV Day.
I'm thinking like the event. What is EV Day? The 11th and 12th. I think this is going to drop the 9th.
The 9th sounds good. That sounds fair. Is that the Thursday before?
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
All right. That brings us.
Last minute question from the front seat here. How do you think Mime Jr. will be released?
I think Mime Jr. is
Eggs
going to
only
be
from
in the
Europe.
eggs.
But it'll be worldwide?
No,
only
eggs
from Europe.
only from Europe. I think it'll just be a regional egg.
Hey, no last minute questions.
Save it.
You gotta wait for next week.
Hey, I'm driving you guys around.
You are driving us around.
Thank you.
Mucho gracias.
All right, that brings us to
Our final question.
from Big Daddy Mike and C.
What are the top 10 Pokemon worth spending Stardust on in the current meta?
Okay.
So, this is a tough one, Mike. This is a good question.
This is why we had to answer this week.
Yes, this is why we had to do this week. We had both those questions from James and Mike, and they are just long answers. So we're gonna pull up some notes that we've got here.
All right,
and we're gonna look at. I'm hatching an egg. We're gonna look at it though. Grinding, always grinding.
Psychic, always Mewtwo.
Correct.
Even like later on, nothing beats Mewtwo other than his Omega forms, right?
Right. Yeah, Mewtwo is always gonna stay relevant. It's future proof, so it's definitely worth Psychic attacker, worth investing in. Definitely Mewtwo.
Really, there's nothing else to
There's
invest
nothing
in.
else to invest in.
If you need a Mewtwo, just go raid one or a Starbucks. You'll get one in about a week.
Exactly.
Fighting Machamp with
Machamp.
no possible replacements in Gen 4.
Correct.
Gen 6
Has Conkeldurr, which will be, depending on move stats, equal to or greater than Machamp.
Right, Glade could also be kind of in there, just whenever Psychic gives it an extra resistance. Other than that,
yeah.
no. Definitely future proof, but so we're doing like top 10 here. I'm going to give you, this is not really in order.
No.
But those two are definitely towards the top of my list. I would actually, if we were doing in order, I would say number 1 is Rayquaza.
If we're doing it in order, I would say Number 1 is definitely Rayquaza. It's going to be one of the best dragon attackers to come for a while.
It's
not going to get outclassed.
One of the best dragons, and worst case scenario, you have the best
flying
attacker pretty much in the game.
Yes, the best flying point blank, period.
And it has some of the best moves for a flying attacker.
It does.
I don't think flying attackers for legendaries will be until 5.
Correct.
Gen 5. So you're talking like over a year away, but they'll still be a good investment even if later on, even if you have to wait a generation, they're still going to be a good investment.
Correct. So I'm going to say Rayquaza is definitely
Rayquaza's my
number one on the top 10 list.
My number 2 is Kyogre.
See, my number 2 is, Kyogre is a very, very good one, and my only thing with Kyogre, alright, so for the current meta, Kyogre is my number 2. Definitely, it's going to be the best water type. It's not going to ever not be the best water type, so you can definitely, it's future-proof. And on top of that, Regirock is right around the corner. Pokemon Go accidentally released a tweet today about Regirock being right around the corner. So Regirock might come out this weekend. Who knows? So, Regirock, the water types, you're definitely going to want that. I'm going to say Kyogre is it's pretty high up there on my list. I would actually say the Machamp is my number 2 for the current meta, because Machamp can be used for almost anything in the current meta.
See, now I'm kind of waiting for lucky Machamps. I'm not going to wait around for lucky. That's not the hard part about legendaries, is getting the dust. It's getting the candy. So I'm kind of waiting around to try to get some lucky Machamps. And just kind of seeing what I'm seeing. I just want to know how much it is going to be to power it up from 40 to 45 or 40 to 50.
It's going to be interesting when they release the level cap increase to see.
So that's why I say that's why Kyogre gets the bump for me, is because I might end up switching Machamps.
All right, that's
perfects
fair.
are still probably going to go up, but
that's
still.
Fair. No, that's fair.
So that's 1, 2, 3. 4, I'm putting at Mewtwo.
Yeah,
just because
4 is Mewtwo. Psychic types are always going to be really good attackers, really good high DPS, and Mewtwo is future proof.
And it still has Shadow Ball.
It does still have Shadow Ball, making it
neutral damage,
one of the best
Cut,
DPS Pokemon in the world, right?
Yeah.
Right outside of Rayquaza, Shadow Ball Mewtwo is the second best DPS Pokemon.
So that's my 1, 2, 3, 4.
So, I would agree with that as top 4. Moving on to 5.
T-Tar Dark.
Dark T-Tar. You know what? Honestly, I'm just going to put T-Tar in there once. T-Tar is going to be the 5th, whether you're doing it as a Bite Crunch or a Smackdown Stone Edge. I think T-Tar, both of them are worth investing in. Both of them are meta relevant. I don't want to put T-Tar in 2 slots on this list. So T-Tar is just going to be number 5.
For me, it's only the dark one, because I think it's going to get replaced as a rock attacker.
That's fair. That's fair. It very well could. But with Moltres Stay right around the corner,
actually,
I think rock types are still worth investing in.
I'm retracting that. 5 is Raikou for me, and then 6 is T-Tar.
Okay, see, now I'm actually sticking with 5 as T-Tar and 6 as Raikou, and the reason that I'm going to be doing that is because Raikou is the best electric attacker. Raikou is going to remain the best electric attacker. Raikou will not be outclassed in any of the other generations. It will always be the best electric attacker.
Mostly because they got the best moves.
Possibly Zekrom. Zekrom is it's a legendary electric dragon type that comes out of Gen 5. That one, depending on how it all works with its dragon resisting everything type thing, it could be better. But Raikou is pretty much the best. I don't think Zekrom's going to get Wild Charge, which is the best electric move. I'm thinking it's going to stay Raikou. But for this reason, that Raikou is going to be 6 is just... There's not going to be much down the line that you're going to want to use Raikou to raid. It's definitely still going to be part of the gym meta as a really good attacker with that Wild Charge 2-bar. You're going to get a lot of them off. But when you look at Gen 4, the only legendary... you wouldn't even use it against any of the legendaries because they're all going to resist electric attacks. They're all dragons. They're all going to resist. If you look at the Gen 4 Pokemon, they're not super, super water heavy and flying heavy in Gen 4. So right now, electric attackers are kind of out of their prime. Their prime was Gen 2.
Gen 1.
Well, I would say Gen 2 counters because you had the 2 legendary birds, plus Suicune. So
meanwhile, Gen 1 had all 3 legendary birds.
It did. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Then there was Kyogre.
Kyogre Gen 3.
But now we're not seeing stuff that electric types need to hit.
When is the next one?
It's a while. It's not going to be for a while that we're going to use our electric attackers. Now, Raikou is always going to be great. Raikou's a great Pokemon. Is it in the top 10? 100% is. it's just I'm not going to really use it that much right now.
So
It
we've
might
gotten
actually
through
be
6.
further down on my list. It might not even be 6. It might actually just be 10.
So
Because of how good of an attacker it is, you can definitely use it in the gym meta. And, you know, when they do bring out random water type bosses or flying type bosses like the 3s or the 4s, you can still use it for that. But just because of how electric types work, I think Raikou's going to be further like 9 or 10 on my list. But it is on my list. Raikou is definitely in the top 10.
number 1, we're agreeing on Rayquaza. Number 2,
We agree Rayquaza's number 1. We have a difference of opinion on 2 and 3. You go 2 Kyogre Machamp. I go 2-3 Machamp Kyogre. We agree with 4 is Mewtwo. You go 5 Raikou,
5 Raikou,
6 T-Tar.
6 T-Tar.
I go 5 T-Tar, and Raikou a little bit further down on that
Alright,
list.
so what else are you
based
thinking
on
here?
what's relevant.
The best steel attacker right now is Metagross.
Correct.
Poison is basically a useless type attacker.
Correct.
Might be Roserade, might be able to get a little bit of the
Correct.
work done. Ghost is Gengar. I think Giratina is gonna
Outclass Gengar?
It's gonna
Yes.
have if it has Origin form, it'll have higher DPS and twice the bulk.
Yes, no, Giratina is definitely going to outperform a Gengar.
Frenzy Plant Venusaur, we've already said that there might be 3 things that beat it. That's not going to be worth
We have said that there might be 3 things that beat it. However, for the current meta, yes, I do have Frenzy Plant Venusaur in my top 10.
it. Okay, well let's go over all the lists because I think we're
Yes.
pretty solid on our top 5.
We are pretty solid on our top 5, but Frenzy Plant Venusaur does make an
Okay.
appearance in my top 10.
Fairy, still no fast move.
Nope, still no fast moves. Still
Rock,
can't be
we
used.
have T-Tar on there. You've included that in your list.
I did. I included that.
The only
in my
other
list.
option is Golem. Fire, we have Moltres, Entei, Flareon, Blastburn.
which could all very easily be in the top 10.
Flying is Rayquaza. Electric is Raikou. Normal,
Doesn't matter.
Bug, Scizor.
Correct.
Ice, Jinx.
Correct. Or Mamoswine, possibly.
Water, Kyogre. Ground, Groudon.
Right.
Or
Rhydon.
Rhyperior. That's it.
Rhyperior. Right.
So to fill out a top 10,
To fill out a top 10.
I'm going Rayquaza, Kyogre,
Correct.
Machamp, Mewtwo. I'm going to go Raikou, T-Tar. Dang, that's hard after that. Probably Groudon.
Okay.
I really, really, really hope they give Groudon Precipice Blades.
That
But
would be awesome.
I could see it getting outclassed by a Mamoswine,
Could.
which is really sad
I
because
could see it
what
being
Bulldoze
outclassed.
does 80 as a 2-bar and
Correct.
Earthquake is 90
Earthquake's 100.
100
That's a full bar.
as a full bar with a really
Slow animation.
really long
Yes,
animation.
it's very, very slow.
I know Origin form. Is it Origin form?
Giratina?
No, sorry, the Groudon. What is it?
Primal reversion.
Yeah, that one, the primal form,
Primal form of Groudon is going to
is
be
going
great.
to
It's gonna
outclass no matter
anything.
what. But that's Gen 6, which is why it still makes my list.
Right.
Because no matter what, it'll come back in Gen
in the
6.
future as be future proof. Okay, yeah, I can get along with. I can get around on that. I'm with you on that one.
7 Groudon. This is hard to even fill a top 10 with stuff I'm like willing to invest in right now.
It's hard. It's tricky. It's a little different. For me, it's not that hard.
See, the fires, I'm obviously Moltres. I'd actually probably put Moltres above Raikou.
Yes,
I'm thinking I'm bumping Moltres up above Raikou.
I would agree with that.
I still think it might lose to Heatran though.
I think it will lose to Heatran, but I still think it's worth investing in right now. Especially since Gen 4 did have some pretty good grass-type Pokemon, and I could see a lot of the Gen 4 grass types being like 4-star raid bosses, 3-star raid bosses. I
And
could see
being
the
double
grass types.
resistant to Moltres would be double resistant
Right,
versus
'cause of the
Heatran
fly.
will be single.
Exactly. So I could see
Wait.
Moltres being.
Just steel resistant.
I could. I don't believe it resists grass. But I could totally see Moltres definitely maintaining it, and I would definitely put Moltres on my top 10 list as well. Honestly, a lot of those fire types are worth investing in. I would definitely invest in Moltres, Entei, Flareon. I can support any of those. For me, the top 10, so we've got Rayquaza, we've got Machamp, we've got Kyogre, we've got Mewtwo. What else do we have on there? Who did we say 5 was?
That's right.
T-Tar. We got T-Tar. And then for me, now this is where it's going to get interesting. For me, 6 is actually going to be Frenzy Plant Venusaur. So I know that's probably a lot higher than anything that you would do.
I'm not willing to invest in grass right now.
The way that I see it, Frenzy Plant Venusaur, it's always going to be a good option. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with the Gen 4 evolutions, and we do know that Regirock is going to be right around the corner. Frenzy Plant Venusaur is going to be an amazing investment for that. It is still, no matter what, is still going to be a really good grass type attacker. Even if it gets outclassed, it'll still be like the new Flareon pretty much. It'll be the Flareon of grass types if it gets outclassed. It's never going to get super outclassed because there's no good grass legendaries. So when you look at it like that standpoint, it will never really be a bad Pokemon. You have them right now. They're going to be useful pretty soon. Grass is just so good against so many different typings. It's good against rock. It's good against ground. It's good against water. With that right there, so many Pokemon are of that type. So many Pokemon that become raid bosses are that type. Grass types are just, they're going to stay relevant in the raid scene. I can see them staying relevant in the raid scene, and for that reason, I can get behind backing Frenzy Plant Venusaur.
I just think grass is way too populated. I think there's Exeggutors.
That's fair.
I think there's Tangrowth, Leafeon, Roserade, all those could beat it.
That's fair. But if we had to talk about the current meta right now, I'm saying Frenzy Plant Venusaur is worth it. And especially with that 2-bar move for gym sweeping, I still like Venusaur. I think that's a really good Pokemon, and it's going to be good in the future. Even if it might not be the #1 spot in the future, it'll still be good in the future, and it'll still have use in the future. So for that reason, I can definitely say, go ahead and power up your Frenzy Plant Venusaurs. I have 5 Frenzy Plant Venusaurs at level 40. I can definitely get behind that. I'm good with it. I have them there.
I would roll the dice. My grass is going to be Tangela.
So
investment.
For that 7 spot for me, this also might be a little bit off the beaten trail,
where
a little bit different. That's where my fire spot's going to be.
Oh, all of them?
My 7 spot is going to be fire types in general, and it is going to be Moltres, Entei, Blastburn, Charizard, Flareon, possibly Magmortar.
In that
order, yes, in that order. And the reason that I put Charizard ahead of Flareon is because of the typing. The flying typing, gaining the resistance to the ground. Yes, it goes double super effective against the rock stuff, but it gains the resistance to the ground. It gains some other resistances. It does gain some other weaknesses, but it gains some other resistances, mostly for what you're going to use it against, like grass types. It'll gain that double resistance. I like the resistance of it. I also just really love Charizard as a Pokemon. Blastburn makes it just as competitive as Flareon, so pretty much those two do kind of wash.
Okay.
So that would be the order, but my 7 spot does go to the fires.
All fires. Okay.
Then
interesting.
Moving right along to the number 8 spot. This is going to be interesting. I don't think you're going to agree with me on this one. My number 8 spot is Scizor. Scizor, yeah. I know he doesn't agree with me.
No.
So Scizor is going to be my number 8 spot, and the reason being this. It is always going to be, it's going to be one of the top bug type attackers for quite a while.
It will.
That bug type is going to be useful against dark, psychic type Pokemon. So later on, we're going to have more dark and psychic type Pokemon, and later on, we're not going to get better bug type Pokemon. So
the problem being is that
wait, I'm not done. So I know where you're going. I feel like I might know where you're going with this a little bit, but I'm not only going to use Scizor as a bug type attacker. Scizor is also going to be a good steel type attacker, and with the introduction of more fairy type Pokemon, I'm thinking fairies are going to be a bit more prevalent. So you can just flip your Scizor depending on what you want to do with it. You invest in 1 or 2 good Scizors, and then you can flip them with TMs based on what you're trying to do. It can be a fairy killer, a psychic killer, a dark killer. It can do a lot of stuff. It's got access to really good moves. It's a good Pokemon. I like Scizor. I'm going to say it's a safe investment. I know it gets outclassed as a steel attacker, but it's still a very good steel attacker, and it doesn't get outclassed as a bug attacker. So it's definitely worth investing in my opinion. And when you look at the stuff that's coming out, it's going to be useful for all the stuff that's coming out.
Right. I think it is going to be useful for all the stuff that's coming out, but there's no reason to invest in the second best counter or something. Because that best counter is still going to be that Dark T-Tar against all those psychic types. And against fairy types, I still say you're running Metagross, right? Over Scizor.
Yeah.
So there's no reason. It's good, like he said, in multiple situations, but it's always the second best option in those situations, and it's not worth it. You might be able to get over the T-Tar in rainy weather, which would be like, what, 5% of our weather around here?
Yeah, probably, but still,
I mean,
I just think that the dual
more likely than
usage-
fog.
So I just think that instead of having to power up a Metagross and a T-Tar, you only have to power up a Scizor, and it can do both the jobs.
I'd much rather have the top option than the second option. So
then,
let's finish out your list.
Yeah,
What do you
so
got?
to finish off my list, number 9 is going to be Raikou. I think I would put Raikou in the number 9 spot.
Okay.
It's a great Pokemon, excellent for just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason it's 9 is just
So
because
now I don't know what
looking
you
to
have
the
at 10.
future. Huh?
Now I don't know what you have at 10.
Just looking to the future, it just doesn't have much. So number 10, actually, it's probably going to be. I mean, number 10's hard. Number 10 is a tough one. I'm probably going to put Groudon there, though. It's like you said.
Okay.
I'm looking towards the current meta right now. Groudon's not that useful, but like you said, in the future, Groudon will definitely be the best ground attacker once it gets its primal reversion form. If it gets Precipice Blades, it's definitely going to be an absolute beast. I don't know what would outclass that per se. So for me, right now, again, it's just like with Raikou.
Okay.
It's not useful now, which is why it's on the bottom tier of the list. It's below the Venusaur.
It would be very
It's
good against
below-
Heatran, though.
It could be very good against Heatran. It could be the
Clear
best
weather Heatran?
option. Okay, so you know what? I'll put it ahead of Raikou. I'll go Groudon ahead of Raikou.
Yeah, clear weather option
Raikou 10.
against Heatran would actually
Groudon
be
9.
Groudon.
Groudon 9, Raikou 10, just because of Heatran. But that's going to be my top 10 list.
To round out your list, we have 1, Rayquaza.
1 Rayquaza,
2, you have Machamp.
2 Machamp,
3, Kyogre.
3 Kyogre,
4, Mewtwo.
4 Mewtwo.
You have both types of T-Tars at 5.
Correct.
6, you had
Frenzy Plant Venusaur.
7,
The fire types
8,
was going to be Scizor.
9, you have Groudon.
Groudon, 10, Raikou.
Okay. To finish out my list, so I'm going to go 1 Rayquaza, 2 Kyogre, 3
Machamp.
Machamp, 4 Mewtwo, 5 Dark
Right,
T-Tars.
Bite Crunch T-Tar.
6, I'm going to go... I'm going to go with this SmackDown T-Tars actually at 6.
Okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's going to be so difficult. I don't know what they're doing with Rhyperior. It's so hard to invest in those. I don't know. See, the question is for current game meta.
Current game meta.
Current game meta, I'm leaning towards more his answers. That's not how I play, though.
Right.
I play with the future investing.
Right.
So I don't drop dust on stuff that I think might get outclassed and what could just be weak.
It's fair. Everybody has their own style of play. That's your style of play.
So
I
that's
respect
why
that.
Yahoo has like 3 million dust at the moment.
Right? My
Um,
style of play is blow all the dust I have.
Yeah, and that's
and
why he has 20,000 at
That's
the
why I
moment.
have 20,000 at the moment. That's also why I have an army of everything. So
Yeah. All right. So
Just all about your
6,
style.
I'm going Groudon.
6 you went SmackDown T-Tar.
Oh wait.
7 you're going Groudon.
No, I'm replacing SmackDown T-Tar. I don't.
Replacing SmackDown T-Tar.
It's too risky.
He doesn't know what
with
he's doing.
Rhyperior.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
6, I'm going
He's
Groudon.
the worst.
I am the worst.
He's the worst.
I am the worst. 7, I'm kind of copying your move. I'm gonna just say Moltres and Entei though only.
Okay.
For
Ours.
8,
You gotta get some grass stuff in there.
I'm not 8, Tangela. I think Tangela, no matter what,
no
is
matter
gonna.
what Tangrowth is going. Okay, yeah, I can support that. I can say Frenzy Plant Venusaur or Tangrowth for my grass spot.
9, I will go Rhyhorn, Rhydon.
Okay.
And then, actually, you know what? I take that back. 9 is Pillow-Swine. 10 is Rhydon.
Okay.
I'm going with more of a future investment. Both of those are good-ish right now. Pillow-Swine not so much, but I think those are the best investments for your dust at the moment in the current meta.
Fair enough.
There's just too much stuff that's going to get changed up in Gen 4.
Fair enough.
That's my list.
That's your list. That's his list.
Did we finally make it through this episode? This is a long
This is
episode.
a long episode. This is what happens when we get questions like this, though. It's going to be a really, really long episode.
This is a long
This
episode.
is probably gonna be like an hour or something. I don't know.
Man.
I've been in this bear suit for too damn long. Too damn long, folks. Too damn long. It's hot. We turned the AC off. That way it wouldn't be background noise for you guys. So I'm sweating. It's been long. It's been a while. We've had some fun.
Oh man.
I think that's it though.
All right, you ready for an emergency question?
Emergency question. We got an emergency question. What's the emergency question?
What are you dumping rare candy into right now?
What are we dumping rare candy into right now? And
So based on that past list, right? You going what? Rayquaza, Kyogre?
yes. Based
What was
on
the next
past
legendary on that list? Mewtwo?
Yes. Then
Would you dump
Groudon.
anything else? That Groudon would be next. You had
Groudon.
Moltres higher.
Yes, but I wouldn't dump into Moltres because Moltres Day is coming up, so you can get a lot of candy right then and there.
It's not that much. It's really not. Even if, because if you're trying to get even 50 raids in, you pin up all of them. First off, you're able to do 50 raids. Let's not.
So let's say you're able to do 50 raids, you're able to pin up all of them with a success rate, so that would be 300 base candies without transfer.
Yeah.
By the time you're done transferring, you'll probably have an extra 25 candies at bare minimum.
That's enough
Probably
to get
closer
what
to
1
30,
Moltres
though.
up from 20 to.
Yeah, that's enough to get one Moltres
One and a half.
from 20 to 30, or to 20 to 40, and another one from 20 to 30.
That's almost enough candy though to get 3 of them from 20 to 35.
Right. It's almost, I mean, if you could get lucky, if you could just trade some Moltres, get lucky on them, get some good IVs on them, might be worth it.
Might be. You have to trade with someone with some older Pokemon though.
But I would say the safest investment for your rare candies right now, Kyogre or Rayquaza. One of those
Kyogre,
two.
Rayquaza, or Mewtwo, because Mewtwo is just always going to be good.
Right.
I think
Right.
We're done?
I think we're done.
All right, we're done.
We're over
Melissa,
it.
kill it. Goodbye.